afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for the invitation today to speak in front of you. I've been to Shanghai about 4 times, and I haven't been to your city now for at least 4 years, and a lot has changed. My name is Nigel Flowers. I'm the General Manager of Flowers Financial Group and Flowers Capital. We have our head office in Sydney, Australia, and we have offices in Melbourne and Brisbane in Australia as well, which is the eastern seaboard of Australia. Today, importantly, and I don't want to take away from John's presentation today, but I would like to say one thing. Congratulations to Barack Obama. We look forward to his presidency in the United States and hopefully making a positive commitment to the global financial platform in the future, and we look forward to his contribution. Today I want to talk a little bit about Australia and why Australia is potentially a very good opportunity and destination for investment. I'm not going to be talking about the stock market. I think we have enough discussion today about the stock market around the world. I'm going to be talking more about the real estate and property opportunities in the Australian marketplace. A number of things today to talk about. I'm going to overview a little bit about the things and the business that I'm involved in Australia. I'm going to talk a little bit about the fundamentals of why Australia is, I believe, a very good place to look at investing. And I'm also going to be discussing some of the opportunities right now that we are looking at in Australia for our clients, our investors in Australia, but also for investors from overseas, such as your country. So we'll talk a little bit about that today. I'm very happy to have questions at the end of today's session. We are running a little bit late for time, but hopefully we'll be on time for 3 o'clock for John's presentation. A little bit of history on Flowers. Flowers has been providing services to the professional community in Australia for 20 years. I look after over 3,000 professional clients, mainly medical clients in Australia. In Australia, medical professionals are very high income earners. So in fact, they need very good professional support, and we provide that service to them there. We've invested well over $1 billion Australian dollars in the property market in Australia over the last 15 to 20 years. We've also invested well over $500 million in other financial products for our clients in Australia. We're involved in the mortgages area for our clients. Again, well over $1 billion in mortgages that we have invested for our clients. And lastly, we are accountants and financial advisors in Australia. So we look at risk management and tax-effective strategies for our investors to make sure they minimise their risk, but hopefully over the long term maximise their return and their exposure. That's a little bit of history on my company, and I'd like to talk a little bit today about why Australia. Probably, if you think about Australia as an investment destination, we are a small country. We have a very big land. We are rich in commodities, rich in resources, but we are still only a very small country compared to the rest of the developed world. But in saying that, Australia has been one of the fastest growing countries in the developed nations around the world for the last decade. And right now we are still in quite positive growth, even though our counterparts across the Pacific looking like they're right now getting into a recession. Very importantly, as an investor, if you were looking at investing in Australia, importantly that you're investing into an environment that has a very stable and robust political environment. All right, we have had some very successful governments in Australia over the last 20 years that have allowed the economy to grow, have allowed for free enterprise, but at the same time control and have a very strong regulatory environment around those processes. So it's important to note that I pointer. It doesn't want to work. A sophisticated financial regulatory system. But probably in Australia we have one of the most sophisticated regulatory systems right now around the world. I think even more sophisticated than the US system. I can say that, I believe, as I've travelled to the US and have done business there quite a number of times. We also have a very strong and growing trade relationship with your country. That's very important when I'm talking to you today about those opportunities, that we are doing business now, and we're going to be doing a lot more business in the future. And I think lastly, growth with investments, growth without too much risk. So one of the things that I look at for my clients when we invest is to make sure that the risk is mitigated to allow for strong growth in the future. That's a key area for delivering success in Australia, and I think one of the reasons why investing in Australia can be quite profitable. I'd like to concentrate today and spend a bit of time looking at the fundamentals between the US property market and the Australian property market. I think when I travel around the world, a lot of people say to me that isn't Australia exactly like the United States? And clearly it is very different. It's a very different environment, a very different investment environment, especially for the property sector. Just a couple of things here in these graphs. These four graphs are actually being developed by one of the chief economists in Australia for one of our largest banks, the Australian and New Zealand Banking Corporation. And it really articulates a number of things. Firstly, it looks at the gross domestic product. If we have a look at the top left-hand corner here, we've got basically percentage change of gross domestic product. As you can see, if you look at Australia in the blue line, if you look at the US in the red line, you can see that in the first half of this decade, we had quite a strong correlation with the US, with our gross domestic product. But as you can see, from about 2004, for the last 5 years, there seems to be a strong negative correlation. And you can see that so convincingly in 2008, where we have annual percentage change, substantial difference between Australia and the US, far stronger.